And we are back here once again with another episode of the Iron Man Podcast, episode 516. Going to be another rendition of Tuesday's Big Showdown. We're going to chill and talk with the boys kind of night. There's actually nothing really going on right now. That's why I told people when the month's almost over, because Comic-Con is always on the last week of July, that's when all the big news always comes out. Movie trailers, comic book news, TV show news, anime news, you name it. Comic-Con is when news picks up again. And I've always told people this too. Comic-Con ended up getting like mega polluted with all these like Hollywood stars. Comic-Con is for comics, people know. And then there came years where they couldn't showcase anything because they would already come the previous year and show everything. So you have years where you just can't go because there's nothing to show. And then everyone got bought into this mindset where you have to come and show the biggest trailer and everything. Remember 2022. DC came, they showed the Black Adam trailer and the Shazam trailer because they pushed Shazam from 2023 to 2022 because and this was before Avatar selected on their date. Then when Avatar's in December, DC went, nope, we're going to put it in next in 2023. So they moved it up to move it back again. And they showed a trailer at Comic-Con for a movie that wasn't even coming out until like fucking March of 2023. Just ridiculousness. Yeah. And looking back now on Black Adam, like, man, was that movie not good? God, that was... Remember what The Rock was saying? The hierarchy and the power of the DC universe is about to change? Well, Rock, they'll require you making good movies first, because DC's narrative is they've always made pretty bad movies, so, yeah.
Well, end of July is not just Comic-Con, it's also the release of Deadpool Wolverine.
True. Despicable Me 4 drops this week. Are you taking
Tomorrow,
your kids to go? Are you taking your kids to see it now?
I don't know. We're going camping with tomorrow. They're gonna want to go, but we're going next weekend to celebrate my son's birthday. So probably not. Probably maybe next weekend we'll go see it.
Okay. So you'll be out pretty much all next week, right?
If they don't pull it for the no. We're going camping like for one night. We'll be back Thursday evening.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back this weekend.
I'm paying you good money to be here.
Yeah, right.
Well, I have a feeling they're not going to pull just that movie.
Oh no,
I was from the theater that quick.
I was just stupid.
The early opening projections for it are between $180 million to $200 million. That's insane. You know what's crazy is Inside Out 2 apparently made $1 billion, and I'm like, shocker! They gave people what they wanted.
When you make a good movie.
You know, you just give people what they want, and they just go and support it. It's actually crazy. Shocker!
It's the weirdest thing in the face of the planet, man.
John, what's up, man? How's the Heroic Tales, campaign going on? Oh, but all right, we'll just intro and then we'll just go back to more guy talk. Ketchup Man, what's up, man? How you doing?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. I'm doing good, man. Since you're calling me Ketchup, I figured I'd at least appease you a little bit. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here, man. It's Tuesday.
Your best friend, Organized Chaos, is starting to review comics, and then I contemplate getting the robe every single time he talks about them. The usual day.
He's a fan. Yeah.
He's actually more of a fan than Dane
He
is.
also likes the Acolytes. I don't know.
About that. Yeah. It's weird how people like Dane will know what is in comics. I can tell he did read them. I usually tell when someone has read them. But then he'll just misrepresent the information in there just because he knows other people won't check because they're just that stupid. I hate that. And then Organized Chaos had this video. I think we'll just EFAP in an episode of this later on the year. Anti-woke versus the woke. It's like, now we just have been divided into camps. People that are anti-woke and people are woke. It's like, are there camps really? Like, the internet is such a weird place, man. God damn. Well, Darnell, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Fatal Crest, what's up, man?
The internet is very, if you're not with me, you're against me. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm doing good.
I love your Kazakh's thumbnail, man.
Huh?
From League of Legends.
Oh, yeah, just I'm all right.
You getting some nice job opportunities? Some good, some bad.
Not really. They're all shit pay. They're not worth it.
The economy is terrible. I'm just like even jobs, the one you're talking about before we started the show, even those ones ain't giving you shit these days. Like, I know. What can we do? It's all bad.
I could literally make more when I work at Walmart than work for the
I'm not gonna lie. You probably should do that. And then when you do that, you'll be able to be in town. And when you get off, you just go straight home. Honestly.
Yeah.
But then again,
I'll probably have to work evenings. So these shows maybe.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, you probably shouldn't take that. Damn it! He's trying to get out of his contract.
Yeah.
Launching on Kickstarter Friday. Awesome, man. Yeah, we just need Heroic Tales to be race swapped in Heroic Tales #2. It dates a black girl and starts spouting Antifa propaganda. That's what I need.
Wants to self-insert himself into it.
Oh, what's up, Nate? How you doing, man?
What's up, Nate?
Let's see. Thanks to Miss K, it's my favorite skin since Metal Kha'Zix. Yeah. I'm not a Kha'Zix player because Kha'Zix requires skill, and obviously I'm not that good when it comes to those kind of champions. Those require your brain to work on a level that mine can't. Like, those champions kind of work where you have to go in and know when to pull out. I'm more of like a guy that likes to go balls deep and then not pull out. I like to go all ham of the paint, So it's kind of where I'm at right now. Darnell, you look tired.
I am.
That's what happens when you have 5 kids. I told this man, you ever heard of the protection plan? Like, no. God damn.
I'm in also a lot of pain too. I'm about to take my medicine. I'm hurting really bad.
Darnell's all about the pullout game.
Oh yeah, my game is one of the worst in the world. I'm up for worst pullout of the century.
Oh God! And Drunken, how you been doing? You haven't pulled out of anything, as he told us.
No, not yet. Still no kids. So now I'm starting to wonder if the hits to the crotch have damaged the goods.
I used to worry about that in school, man. I got hit a lot in the nuts.
There was a lot of Rochambeauing going on when I was growing up, and clearly, there might be some damage down there.
Yeah. A couple of women I dated like to hit me there. It was funny. So,
oh my God, that's what it is. Yeah. Stunted growth.
Well, yeah.
Oh God, man. Oh, like so you know how everyone usually is talking about like the guy-girl dating relationship issues now. I tell people, if people can talk about some shit, I'll eventually look into it. Because when I like to look into something, I don't like to be generally casual with it because I can use it as topics for shows. I like to really dig into it. And from what I kind of found out, from what I kind of figured out, it really is true. Guys really aren't dating as many women anymore. Actually, from the most common thing that I pulled from, it was a range of like, I forgot the actual percentage, but the age range I remember, men between the ages of 18 to 29 are not dating as much as men 10 years ago or 30 years ago.
I can believe that.
And I'm like,
virginity in males has gone up considerably too.
Yeah, you're right. That is true. Yeah, virginity in males has gone up. Women virginity has decreased. Yeah. And like people always ask, like people you use sometimes to ask me my personal life or on here, like why do you think that is? It's not just one answer. I tell people things like this are very complicated. I will say this. I think when you were growing up, people always told you get older, have kids, have a family, and you'll live happily ever after. Well, to some degree, that's a lot of bullshit. And to some degree, it is true, And I do agree that like that's a great way. That's always been the way things have been, and it's not. I don't think I'll disagree with it. It's a fine way of living, but some people aren't built like everyone else. Not like that trans gay stuff. I'm talking about like some people's aspirations in life.
Men?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, like Lord. Shaveless men, yeah.
Shaveless men. I love it. It's just like some people just have different aspirations in life. Some people's aspirations in life aren't to have kids. Some people's aspirations in life isn't to have a family. That doesn't make them not contributing. It's just like not hi cat. That's
crime fighting kitten right there.
Like I can feel for me, I don't really care if I ever have kids. It's just not really something I generally really care about a lot much. It's not something I even think about really. That's the thing I'm saying. Other people should not have kids or do that, But some people just aren't gonna be like everyone else. But let's be honest here, the vast majority of people will have kids because they're just sexually crazed fiends. They just like having sex with women, which is obviously gross and disgusting, But
you can still adopt, dude.
Yeah,
I just don't want kids at all. I'm totally fine. Maybe I'll change my mindset.
If you want to get a chick, dude, get a kid. Adopt a kid. I'm telling you, dude.
To be a hot single dad, that's how it'll work.
Telling you, man.
Better than getting a dog.
When I go to when we go to out of town, I go to the store we have one kid with me. Choo.
So, and then I would say for women, a lot of women are told just straight nonsense stuff. And because people just don't really challenge women on anything they say, because they're afraid of her telling people and having the guy look bad, people just kind of accept the bullshit that women say. You'll have women explain to you how they think guys work, and it's just like, what are you talking about? Who did you listen to for this? Like, actually, just straight up garbage. They'll speak to you. They'll say things like, well, I want my man to make $100K a year. All right. Well,
except my 5 kids. 100K a year, except my 5 kids, have 2 or 3 cars, a 6-bedroom house.
6 feet tall.
He can't be below 6 feet. Yeah, it's like, well, how about you weigh? Shut the fuck up. That's not important.
Oh, sure.
They better love me for exactly who I am completely, without reservation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm allowed to change him.
You always have that in girls. They'll be like, well, I want a guy that's 6 feet, makes 100K a year, multiple cars, lives on his own, makes a lot of money, is good with his parents, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you looking for a fairy tale? You looking for a unicorn? Like, for the most part, you're probably going to get like 1 or 2 of those things. The other things you have to kind of settle for. It's
those guys that have all that are married already.
Yeah, and this thing is good. It's good to have standards.
It is. For MSK.
I mean, I would say, I told you before, a girl really can't provide me anything outside of, like, I would say sexual gratification and like companionship. I wouldn't need her for anything outside of those things, honestly. Like, I don't need her for money. I have my own money. I need her for a job. I have my own job. I don't need her for a place. I have all that. That's why I think most guys have girls for. Most guys do things on their own, just naturally, instinctively, you know? Like, why would I need a girl for? Like, why realistically do I need one? I already do everything on my own. Like, what can they really provide me? Just a companionship, which is fine. That's awesome. That's really just all it is, you know, and I'd say that's fine, you know, because the girl's like, there's people like, well, what does this girl bring into a relationship? Oh, this is my own personal pet peeve. I like girls that are kind of like self-sufficient, not like feminists, but like ones that can do things on their own, like can have their own job.
Most guys like that. Most guys,
I like that. I don't want someone so clingy to me because
she
like
could help you decorate your room.
You know, that would be
a little idea. She'll shut the TV up.
Yeah. Because like,
that right there, that's MSK.
I'm good.
That's MSK's dating app profile right on there. Must know how to hang TVs.
I will also say, you know, certain guys are like, I don't want my woman working. And if you have kids, obviously that makes sense. But if it's just a single girl with no kids or anything, I'll be honest, I don't care if she works. At least she won't be asking me for money. I was like, I wouldn't give it to her or whatever.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
just have your own shit, you know, because like
you want someone to bring what you bring to the table.
Like, because then she wouldn't have to ask me for money if she has her own job. Go get your own thing. You can have your own stuff.
I mean, the situation you're in kind of like in a good spot. I mean, you have everything you need. The things you want, you can take your time.
He loves Selena.
You can take your time and get what you want. I mean, you're not looking. You're not on some clock to have kids or any other stuff. You can find exactly what you want, and that's also an awesome place to be in.
Oh, and also another big thing for me, I think a lot of other guys are, hopefully in the same mindset, synergy and chemistry. This playing League of Legends has taught me so much about chemistry and synergy. I think that's the reason why a lot of relationships don't work out. They're just not compatible. If people, I'm talking outside of small talk, and you're gonna see a girl in a supermarket and go, "Oh, I haven't seen you in like 30 years. I don't know, you were still like not that. I mean, actual conversation you can have with this person, and you enjoy talking to them. Actual chemistry. Not a lot of people are compatible.
Like you have with your league bros.
They understand me. They get me.
Hey.
Like, Chris said, if she's 5'7" and heels, you can't ask her to use flats. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh lord. It's just, and certain girls are just raised off dumb shit. They just say dumb things. Like, by dumb things, I mean they'll say things like, fuck, how would I say it? I want a guy to do this. But then you'll be like, well, what do you do for that? Like, what do you do to deserve that? And they'll be like, well, I'm just bringing him love. It's like, please shoot me. Please end it all. Give me the rope.
It really comes down to the yin and yang. It's supposed to be, I mean, to make the whole.
Yeah.
Oh, make it in the hole. Oh, yeah, crazy. That's part of where you're heading.
So there's a picture that goes around. I love it. It's it's a MMA fighter.
Yeah, same here.
And the chick goes, she tweets or something. I want. Where's this guy? He responds, and she's like, no. He's like, I'm literally the guy in that picture. And like that's how a lot of women are.
I'm glad you brought that up. The thing where girls will say things because it sounds nice to say, but their actions reflect a whole different person. And then if you even bring it up to them, they'll be like, I'm not like that. And it's like, I can't believe people are that unself-aware. If you're that unself-aware, I am not in bother even talking to you. It's just that's worthless of a conversation.
Yeah, I've had a few relationships in my 20s that we go on a first date and the women are like, what they say they want, I am everything that they said they want.
Whole
2
thing,
months in, 2 months in, they're like, this isn't working out. Like, what do you mean? Like, seemed like things were going great for 2 months.
Remember the old thing? It's not just me, it's you. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and they go like, well, it's boring. Like, what do you mean it's boring? I don't go out. I don't, I'm everything on your list. It's boring. Like, what do you want? I don't know what I want. So you just wasted 2 months of my time.
Yeah. And I told you things are just gonna kind of get boring. Like, you're gonna go to work, come home, and that's it. Like, I don't know what else people want in life sometimes.
That's what she's saying she wanted. She wanted a guy that was like that. Yeah, exactly. Like Fatal Cressy, you're too stable. I was told I was too stable by 2 girls in my 20s. I was too stable.
No, I think it was
girls like, you're too stable for this to work. You're just too good for me. It's like, that doesn't even make logical sense.
They were threatened by a successful black man. I think what it is.
Well, I wasn't successful, so
stable.
But you were black.
Yeah, there you go. No, I mean, I was told by 2 girls I was too stable. I was not crazy. I didn't track them down to all the times, all hours a day. I didn't track their iPhone. I'm like, why the fuck would I do that?
No,
like that's not normal.
Then maybe it's good that they ended that relationship with you, being that's what they were after.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, if that's what they're looking for, it's like, well, that's already a red flag to run the fuck out.
Well, yeah. Well, when they brought it up, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's how you are. Fine, bye, peace.
Yeah, like I think the general sentiment that we've come to sometimes collectively on the show, just, obviously depending on different way you're going to look at things, but women just ain't shit. Like, some of the ones coming up now just ain't shit. Like, why would I waste my time? If you're factoring in time, as people that have passed away, you could die all of a suddenly, at any point. Time is valuable, and I would not like to waste my time on something that is not going to work out. And you look back and go, "Damn, I wait," because time is valuable. It just is. Like, you don't get days back, you don't get hours back. When that hour of that day goes away, it's over. So that's when in my
part time of trying to save the city, I've also been working on a time machine. So, but I really haven't gotten much past the drawing part.
And
but
the
oddly,
drawing
it looks
usually just like a rectangle.
Well, it looks a lot like the flux capacitor, and I'm finding that movies aren't reality. So, we're still at the point of the time we put into relationships that end up not working. Yeah, we still don't get that time back.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I love my kids to death, but I wasted 6 years where 2 of mine came from. I would kill for those years back. I was a different person before that, and it just destroyed me.
Oh,
well, all I know is full robot AI girlfriends can't get here fast enough.
You deserve it.
What did I do? What did I do?
You know what you did.
You were watching too much gratuitous anime. That's anime will teach you that. Another thing we were talking about earlier, the thing about women's actions not matching up. I think I was playing it before. So, like, a girl will be young, and girls are mostly valued off, like, their beauty for the most part. I mean, you're not talking women for their fucking intelligence, obviously.
Well, the beauty is what draws you into them to begin with.
Yeah, a girl will want, like, a guy that is unattainable, and he already has a bunch of options. The 9-to-5 guy that probably works at, like, I don't know, Walgreens or whatever, for example, they don't want that guy. That guy's not up to their standards. Then when they get older, that guy that's been working at Walgreens has been doing fine. He's stable. They want a guy like that, but they don't look as good by the time they want that guy that works at Walgreens. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's women want something that they will not be able to have when they're younger, only to end up going for the guy that they say they wouldn't have gone for in the first place. It's really weird how their brains work like that. I don't know why they work like that. I just know.
I think it's a result of social media and what's happening there with the dating apps, where unfortunately too big of a pool of women think they're all 10s and deserve nothing but the best.
Some of them are straight 2s,
and they are not. They're not. They're. And I agree. They're reaching too high. They're reaching for something that is unattainable and ignoring the attainable.
And I grew up in an age before the internet,
You and I both.
Yeah, and there are women I ran into who in high school would laugh at me when I would, start to flirt. And in our 20s, they were like, "What's up?" And like you said, like it wasn't that they were ugly, but like for me, it was like I know what type of person you were, and you still are because I see you on social media.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care what. And like one of them was like, "Oh, talk about her boob job, trying to get me to check her tits out." I'm like, I'm sorry, I prefer natural. When I said that, she like went nuclear. And I was like, why are you talking to me? Like, is this the guys you go for are like that? And she's like, well, that's how guys are. I'm like, no, we're fucking not.
That's the thing. When girls say they get boob jobs, it's like, well, I'm not really a boob guy, but I will say that when girls get boob jobs, I would say, isn't that more influenced by women?
Like, why would you tell a guy you got a boob
job?
Maybe now.
Well, no, like if you tell a guy you got a boob job, you're like, oh, okay, awesome. Can I see him? But I didn't tell you to go do that.
So I understand it might be different for shaveless men, but like it is kind of a trope that men will stare at women's chests. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. It's like the sun that you just kind of have to take a little look. Like maybe
a guy's gonna look.
Okay, all right.
But I mean,
so why would you think that they're doing it for women?
No, women, because I think it's something. I mean, to be fair, she's black. I don't really value black women's opinions all that much. But someone's brought this up, and a lot of other women have seemed to come talking about this, at least from social media point of view. Women give women awful advice to screw them over because women are more like, they're not like out. How guys will just tell you your fucking shit just straight to your face because that's what we do. Women don't do that. Women will be like, hey, I think you look good in that dress, when she does not. To give her a false sense of security for her to do something, because that's how women function. But women don't just straight up confront you on stuff. Very few women in my life ever do that.
You want to tell her she doesn't look good in that dress?
Honey, does this dress make me look fat? No, you make the dress look fat.
I tend to aggravate. I tend to piss on wife every time I go anywhere. We met. One of her first things I said was, "I don't like makeup at all. I can't stand makeup. It's
really okay.
It's fake. It gets on clothes. Look. It's just, and like if you kiss, it's like I got makeup on my face now. I got tasting your shit on my face." So and she was like, yeah. No, she's like, yeah, I hate it too.
MSK's into that.
But in the last year or so, 2 years, she's taken to wearing it when we go places. That's not like just Walmart. And she would ask me like, "Oh, what do you think? How does it look?" I'm like, "I don't like it." And it'd be like an all day fight because
makeup thing I never cared about. If girls want to look good, that's girls' thing. I never.
That's what I said. If you want to look good for yourself, that's fine. But personally, if you're asking what I think, I don't like it.
My thing is if the makeup is so much.
MSK has never cared what girls look like.
My thing is if the girl's makeup is so much where it alters her actual face, where she's unrecognizable when she takes it off, that's where I have the problem with.
Well, it's. If they want to, I mean, personally, I like the natural look. Now, if a woman wants to put on just a little bit of makeup to maybe enhance a little bit of that natural look, that's fine. But when you're just doing a whole lot of overkill on the makeup, that's where it's like, that's not a turn on for me. That I think goes completely against what I find attractive. I prefer the natural look. I guess I'm
what if
more
you're at a Kiss concert?
Well, as long as they aren't going as Stanley, then we're fine.
Okay. I mean, yeah, fair enough. No, just the cat.
Yeah. That one's fine. We'll go with that one. And she has to keep it on through the entire night.
Fatal Crest says they want luxury, then they want to go back to stability with half the luxury. Yeah. But people have pointed out, because people have pointed these things out to girls in general, all of them. They say, why don't you just get the guy right now? He's the stability you want. The guy right here. They're like, I don't want him because it's perceived status too. Girls like having a guy that brings a lot of status to them. That's why a lot of guys try to get those massive things, because status brings you women. It just does. Having those extra things. I have people say, well, I saw this homeless bum with the girl. It's like, okay, there are certain girls that'll lower their standards enough for that. But how many women do you know in your life do that? Not many. It's not an average thing.
That's somewhat biological, though, because a man that has a lot of things puts off a perceived ability to be a good provider.
True. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like me, right? Wait, what did I do? Fuck out of myself. Chloe, what's up? Does this comment make my ass look good? I'm pretty sure your ass looks great. And if you ever wanted to Nothing. I'm reformed now.
Stop.
I'm reformed. If I'm gonna try and date anyone from my generation, I'm gonna make sure that they ain't crazy first. Oh Lord, they probably watched the Whatever podcast.
Nate. You may be screwed, Nate. Your generation's maybe the only option. Chris crazy.
Oh, he already acknowledged that. It said women of my generation are a lost cause.
Yes.
And sometimes I don't even blame them because a lot of these girls are young. They're naive. They don't know any better. And by the time they do figure out what's really going on and everything, it's too late. You know? Like, I don't know, like the OnlyFans thing. Like, it's weird how women are told to like slay queen and do all that stuff. But if you start an OnlyFans and do all that stuff, you're going to get called a bunch of names and all that stuff. And it's like, why are we encouraging women to do that? I don't care if a girl has an OnlyFans. I really don't give a shit. But I'm not taking that girl's advice on relationships. I'm not. I'm sorry. It is.
Did you see there's a growing number of women who bought into that whole slay queen, mentality now, or like, why can't I find a man? It's like, I'm not talking about the OnlyFans. I'm talking about the ones who spend their entire 20s,
preaching men and shit. 30s,
into their 30s, building, this career. And now they're like, where's all the good men? Well, they're all taken now.
Well, Darnell, it's even women our age now that are out there that spent their entire life believing the feminist lie and spent all their time building their careers all about them, not putting on the family on hold, maybe not looking for a man. Now they're in their advancing years, and now they're crying about how they're alone. They can't find a man, and they now realize that they were lied to by feminism.
What's up, Tony? How you doing, man? MSK, what you?
No one's gonna look. That's the choice you made. The choice you made. That's
good. So there are girls with OnlyFans that don't do like that aren't.
Come on, that's 2 strikes against her, though.
Yeah, but that's the issue. Is I personally wouldn't care because I don't really. So how I look at it is, I know money's hard to come by. I know work. I know the economy is terrible. So if a person has to do that to make some extra money to pay bills, hey, bills don't care about your morals. That bill got to get paid. When that bill says $199.99, that money got to be. They need their money, right? So
they don't care how, they just care it's paid.
Yep. Yeah, my thing is when the girls with OnlyFans go, well, why does no one take my opinion seriously on dating? Why are people treating me bad? It's like, well, I don't know, the nature of your job. Like, it's something as being a cop. If you're a cop, the nature of your job means that people hate you. There are certain jobs that just aren't as hated as others. It's crazy how a firefighter. I learned this in the police explorer thing I went through when I was a younger kid. Firefighters do the same things cops do. They save people. So one is just more loved. The other one's just hated. Actually, cops stop people from getting raped, stabbed, bunch of little things. Firefighters literally just go and stop fires. I'm not discrediting it.
We used to joke that all they do is if you want to date a firefighter, if you want to date someone who cooks and keeps your house clean and looks buff, date a firefighter. And all they do is cook, clean, and work out.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's essentially kind of the same thing. Like firefighters. Well, there's different groups in all areas that like there's a thing called badge bunnies where the chicks date only cops. They don't care if they're married. They don't care if they slept with the entire department. Did
you see that one video with the black girls and the black guy cop? 40K a year. He has said he has a house. He's got his own car. He makes good money. Pays all his bills on time. They literally said they won't date a cop, even if he has a stable job like that.
Yep, I've met women when I was a police officer. I met women on.
Do you think the statistic is true that if you are with a cop, the domestic thing is true? They said like a certain
no.
For some,
it has like all stereotypes have a basis in reality,
right? Yeah,
but. There's as someone who worked in that field, there's domestic violence in every field. You just don't see it because it's hidden a lot.
And for some women, it is the fact that if the partner is a cop, then it adds potential heartbreak later because of the job. It can be go to work one night and never come home. So some women look at that from the aspect of being a provider and always being there.
All the time that I got refused rejected when women found out I was a cop, it was because they said, "You're a cop. All cops are this." I'm like, we've been talking for weeks. I'm not that, but now you know what I do.
Yeah,
I'm that. Like you're doing is making look stupid.
Do you think it evens out though? Like you mentioned, like the badge monies or whatever. There's got to be like some benefits. Like some people see you in the uniform and are just like, "Damn."
There is.
I don't know. Did it kind of even out, or
not in my community, or maybe I just wasn't good looking enough because we had some cops that some guys working in my department who were like, they'd go somewhere, they leave with 8 phone numbers. And I would like go somewhere and I'd be like laughed at or like, except I'm not attractive. That's a good question, Tony. I wonder that all the time. Why? Oh, I think it goes back to women wanting to fix men, or seeing a man and then the prisoners convince them I'm innocent or something to that nature, and they play on their sympathies because criminals, even though the ones in jail are master manipulators, they are very good. They're silver-tongued people. They are very good at talking, convincing someone of something.
So he says,
I worked in jail.
Something I disagree with Renowned Zero on is that I think sex work is real work. Of course, I'll acknowledge that some people aren't a fan of it, and that's fine. I define work as anything you get paid by. So if like strip clubs are sex work, women get paychecks. If you get,
what if it's got job in the title, man?
Okay, well that is pretty self-explanatory. If we're going by that level of definition, I'm saying anything you get paid by legally that goes through a bank into your account, make sure I'm specifying that, or a check. I'm supposed to write checks out, or you get, maybe there's online banking apps that like Chime and all that shit. If you get paid through it, that's work. Now, the thing is, sex work is not, what's the word I'm looking for it? Even if someone were to consider it work, it's considered dirty work, It's considered like blood money, essentially, I can understand why people wouldn't really like it, but I've always told people this, man. Life is very hard. A lot of people don't ever factor this in. Bills do not care about what you personally think. Bills don't personally care about what you think should be a thing or what you think should happen. Bills have to get paid. So if that girl, made some bad decisions like having 3 kids with no stable father and she has to do that for money, I'd rather the kids be fed and taken care of than have no money and be on the streets. It's just, if I had to take a lesser of 2 evils, I'm taking that one. I'd rather them not have to go through that. Now, so she did that to have the kids and all that stuff? No, but then again, shit happens, and I'd rather take the best out of a situation, Also, what I've noticed is women just are bad at picking people. Just terrible at picking people in general. But to be fair, everything we have now is women's fault, so, that's just me.
Again, no, it's that unfair. It's the unfair expectations of men and thinking again that and women going after the unattainable. They're not looking at what they actually can attain. And so, well, guess what? Of the unattainable is a very small pool compared to the attainable. And they're going after a very small pool. That's why the men that are in that upper echelon are able to get those women, all the types, where the average is really having problems even meeting any women because they pass us by.
We're in a weird world now. So let's say with men and women. What are you guys saying? Sorry. If we're just talking. If she was sleeping with other people on OnlyFans, no. I'm talking about like how far.
But she's doing her job, man.
If she beats off anything where it's like not sex with another man. If she was doing it with me, obviously I would do it because that's just, I don't care. Like all that has to be with me, or it just cuts it out. She can't be sleeping with other people. Like, that's actually just cheating right there. Like if she's just beating off and taking off her clothes and spreading her asshole, it's like she'd just be one of however many chicks that have already done that. If she's bringing in some good money, I'll be honest with her. I'll tell a bitch, hey, you can have your OnlyFans. You got to buy me PS5 games. You got to give me some PlayStation games. Give me some comic books.
So you said that she's not entitled to any of yours, but it turns out if she has a successful OnlyFans, she has to buy you PS5 games.
Yeah.
All right, man.
She's going to be banging out other dude. If she's like, honey, can you be a part of the sex video? I'll be like, all right, whatever. But she's like, can I get my other friend?
That would lower her status. Like you're taking money out of her mouth.
She would ask me, but she'd be like, hey, can I have Tyrone pound me out for the sex video, honey? No. No. I mean, you have to do it with me or no one else. That's how
I was approached with by a person and a former person I was with about being on video for money, and came close.
What was the deciding factor to make you not do it?
Me and the girl were no longer together, and after we got the offer, she disappeared for like a year. She moved to another town and changed her number, so I didn't get a chance to get in touch with her. But I was very close to saying yes.
Well, the camera adds 10 pounds. Maybe it'll add some length. So maybe I should look into camera work.
I know I ain't got much on there, and I'm fine with that.
I'm give a shit. With 9 inch. See, mine was all different. Mine was it's too big, so they're scared it's not gonna fit. I'm like, fucking hell, that's fucking sucks.
MSK, that's stereotype. Knock it off.
God, I'm sad you think that, because you'd be so surprised.
No, Nate, a lot of the women that but the biggest thing I got when I was a police officer was so I can't get high anymore. That was the biggest thing women had a problem with. I can't get high anymore. Like, well, you can, but I'm not gonna date you.
Yeah, drugs are kind of where I've always kind of also draw the line at, because that's I don't know, as vaping cop, and smoking. Like, it's not really my thing.
Okay, but what era of drugs, man? Because like everything's damn near legal now.
I'll say vape. If she vapes, I think that's okay. I to be honest here, my grandma used to smoke so much. I hate the smell of tobacco, like just cigarette smell. It's disgusting. It makes me nauseous.
Okay, but what if she smokes a pipe? Pipe tobacco smells good.
Tobacco.
I hate you so much. You know that, right?
Pipe.
Maybe if she let me snort crack out of her butthole, maybe that.
There we go. There's the
I'm assuming that's why she's involved with you.
Like, what about girl tattoos? I've never been the hugest fan of tattoos. I think it's overrated.
Well,
tattoos are best.
Certain places I'm not a fan of them. But
oh yeah. Oh, we had a teacher who had a tramp stamp. Ugh, good lord. Yeah,
I'm getting one.
Figures you are a tramp.
Hey, yeah. it's a cartoon stick of butter with fly wings on it. The butterfly. I'm getting it right in the middle of my lower back.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Wife hates that idea. She thinks it's stupid. She's like, please don't.
I agree with her. Yeah. But listen to her wife this time around. God damn.
No.
Oh my god.
All my tattoos are stupid and goofy, man. I don't care.
The wife is telling the truth on this one.
What you were saying, Gray?
What?
Just tattoos are awesome, man. I don't know. I like artwork. I think it can definitely accentuate the body if done well.
I'm fine as long as it avoids names, unless the name happens to be a family member.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's like a previous ex, maybe you shouldn't. Property of Tyrone. No,
Bill Lumberg, it's my boss. Yeah,
Chloe says I can definitely relate to worrying about a cop partner not coming home. Not a partner, but rather my dad. It sucks to realize, but at any time growing up, something could have happened. Yeah.
And here I got my kids like, Dad, please go do it again. You hate me? You hate me?
I feel like
just view you as heroic.
Dude, I feel like it's gonna grow up to be like that 2.5 Men relationship that Evelyn had with Charlie and Alan. Oh shit! You go over to their house and they'll be saying shit that it's just like half true, half isn't true. Oh my god! Oh shit! Let me type into the Googles what's been going on with life. Why
in my 20s, fatal? I'd have been fine with that.
Not dating. Why are men?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna be searching, does camera add length?
I would go for girth, but yeah,
go for a fish.
You want to know? I'd probably both. Well, as I've said, and it's very true, I've never heard a complaint. Of course, I've never heard a compliment either.
But I mean, you can't. When they're gagged, they can't answer you. I've tried telling you that 100 times.
Damn it.
Okay, this is from Quora. Well, Quora, no one really goes here anymore, but it's like a more
I go every day.
Safe. Yeah, it's like a safer Reddit. It's not as disgusting. It's not as cringe. Reddit is.
There are people who try and they're turning into that. They're trying to turn into that, but people
like Quora's always been pretty chill. Yeah,
well, like Quora, like people will come in like active. They're trying to do Reddit shit, and people will like shut that shit down fast.
That's a good question, Chloe.
Take it back to Reddit.
Well, what was it? Oh yeah, the camera adds 10 pounds.
I think it would. Yeah.
What do you do with girls' boobs? Do you just like suck on them? Because that's kind of gay, honestly.
I think it's kind of the opposite of that, MSK. Yeah, but
I want to change my.
You enjoy them. Sometimes you offer a massage.
I know it's against MSK's motive, but there is a thing called foreplay.
I've had that a lot.
It's not for people, MSK.
Okay, that's just group sex, and that's how you get it. That's when you do things to a woman I can't say on YouTube because I'm reformed. All right. Grab, bounce, squeeze, bite, girl. Ooh,
none of those he ever considered.
The first three, yes. No. Bite, I don't think I could do that. That sounds kind
really
of
okay. What about using them for a speed bag?
Okay, all right. Fucking hell. Yeah. All right. So on Quora, I did this type in random questions sometimes to see what's going good. Why are men no longer pursuing women like in the past? Okay, this guy says because the era in which women played hard to get or men thought they did is over. No means no. Pursuing a woman who has told you no is going to first irritate her, then frighten her. The next step is restraining order, then charges of stalking. You'll lose your job and you could end up on the sex offenders list. It's not worth it. Oh, okay. We're talking like from a basis standpoint. I'm not talking about like pursue a girl and then at a point you got to call the cops. Like
he's right though.
He's right to a point though.
Yeah.
Like I've seen
there are guys that are way too
and
forward.
Lose their fucking shit because the guy didn't take no for an answer, but then they see rich hot dude next to him was like, oh, I'm gonna make him ask me 8 times before I say yes. It's like you just
there you go. It's a better one. No Google. All right. Okay, Google.
Let's see your password.
I can't show you that.
Yeah, not like you did the other night.
Good Lord.
All right, here we go. If you're 13 or not.
No, I'm not thinking shark bite her, but it's like that's just what the heck? What do I gotta do? 5 more.
Now pick your topic.
Only one last step, man.
I'll just throw random ones in our whatever, man. Okay, none of this matters anyway. Like this is stupid. Fucking hell, man. All right, why are many eligible men no longer interested in women? The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Okay,
not true. You just need to have the right device. The juice is delicious.
Well, that's where part of the biting comes in.
I have options and know my value. I'm not going to throw that aside for some fantasy that society cooked up to enslave me. I'm not interested. I'm not uninterested, but I'm not trading my value for mediocrity. When a woman worth my time comes along, I'll give her my time. No woman is worth all my time or attention, nor is any man.
I mean,
I can't disagree with that. That's pretty based.
Accurate.
That's pretty based, honestly. Yeah. All right. Okay. This guy says, because a woman becomes a liability once a relationship forms. Women entitle themselves to a lot of demands the moment an intimate relationship starts. They think they now own the guy when he never even said so. I love you. I understand women want to have fun too, so they allow themselves to become sexually intimate with the man once they think he's interested and make believe that they now could control him. If the women liberation revolution allowed women to become free sexually, then they should consider any physical relationship with the man could be treated the same way. Yeah. If a girl's just throwing it at you, let's just hypothetically, that always happens to me because obviously I sex with a lot of women. Obviously, why would I value her as like another woman that's not doing that? I'm just saying, is that bad? Kinda, but that's how a lot of people think. So I'm just saying the quiet part out loud.
Sweet. Women are higher value the least interested they are in you.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
It's kind of what I got at too, but I was.
But I'm glad you guys. All right. Which is to find out all of the compatibilities he has now with the woman before he could think of her as a serious partner, let alone a marriage partner. If you want your freedom in having a relationship, then you need to know how the male brain functions versus the female brain. The male doesn't need to know how the female thinks since he wasn't the one looking to equality in a relationship. Yeah. How do you guys think about that? The 50-50 thing in relationships? Do you think it's mostly like 60-40? Because there's always someone doing more. It's never an equal thing.
No, it is 50. No, true relationship, even looking at more of an old-fashioned form of it is still a 50-50 relationship. It's just, again, it's a yin and yang.
Right.
Each one is bringing a different portion to the table.
Right. And it may be a 70-30 for a while, but then it's gonna swing pendulum to go back in the direction.
Right.
Yeah, it's never gonna be a 50-50 for all the time.
Yeah, because
it's gonna be
ideally that
more,
works.
Which is fine if that's how it works.
Yeah, because ideally that mindset works in theory, but in reality, someone is always doing more than the other person. It's just always going to be the case, though. Like some days it might be 50-50. But I know women have been like, well, taking care of kids is harder than doing a job, and the guys will doing the job is harder than taking care of the kids. It depends on what you perceive more you're doing. I think both are jobs. One is just requires more stress.
I've been a mostly stay-at-home dad the last 4 years almost, and it's a fucking job, dude. This week I've had all the kids at the house, and they've had no sports, nothing going on. I lost ground on cleaning this house because of them with them around. And look, I was cleaning one room, having to go back to the room they were in and stop a massive mess from starting. It's a fucking job, man.
If you think their kids work, they can barely keep on their own. They can barely keep on their own socks.
Yeah, I'm lucky my youngest keeps his clothes on.
Oh Lord, good Lord, man. Thanks. Where are we at? Okay.
Well, it is hot down there.
On another note, most men, regardless of how they act or say, their bottom line is the search for an old-fashioned woman that will cherish him, take care of him, and support him, not control him, and make him the man she wants him to become. If she likes him, then this is what she gets. She doesn't get a toy and be free to manipulate him to be however she wants him to be. At the same note, when he chooses a woman, he wants her to stay the same woman he chose, not to change on him and become someone else after marriage, as she might think she's trying to make him a better man. If that's what she wants, then she should have been out for a better man, but not this one. And that, my dear, is what drives men away from a commitment in a relationship.
I don't know. So if I found a woman in my 20s and she's in her 20s, I wouldn't want her to be the same person in 10 years. Like I would hope I wouldn't be the same person. I know I'm not the same person now that I was in my 20s.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I would like to think that I've grown up and matured where, I don't know. I had a lot of
I agree.
Bad habits,
this part,
so
I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment of what this person is saying. I do, but it just, remember, in theory versus reality. In reality, this is just life. People just change in 10 years compared to the 10 years you saw them before. It's just like that's just how people function. Whether they change for good or bad is up to the person itself, but people just change their mindsets on things constantly. Like the person that you see in her when she's 20 is not gonna be the same. I hope that person wouldn't be the same person when they're like 30 or 40. That'd be terrible, right? That'd be kind of like, what the fuck? But then again, it also depends on, did she make good changes or did she make bad changes though? Because if she's like not doing the same stuff.
Did you make good changes or did you make bad changes?
Always. If you can prove that you can handle being what a man wants you to be, then you'll find a good man that will take care of you, protect you, and love you over all the other women on this earth. Why aren't men dating anymore? This is a year ago. Holy sh! Why do people write? That's why I love Quora. They actually give out actual thought-out answers, not dog shit on Reddit. All right, let's go with this first one. All right. He says, "You disrupt my flow and enjoy my peace, and I enjoy my peace. I don't want to fulfill your sexual bucket list. While I am a bad person if I have one." Oh yeah, that's another big one too. I also don't want to compromise or sacrifice my integrity to appease you. I don't care for your games and dramas. I am tired of it. I want to relax, and dating is anything but relaxing. Yeah. Trying to date someone is not easy. Just saying, it's.
So you're agreeing with him. Kind of sounds like you also have a sexual bucket then.
I've never had one. Maybe I've had a few threesomes in my life. I've tasted a few girls' buttholes and vaginas a few times. It's pretty easy actually. So it says, all I'm gonna say is a little tit nibble. Yeah. I was never. Yeah. You guys are.
But that is nibbling is still a bite.
It is. It's just.
Still never occurred to MSK.
Yeah. You guys can have your boob nibbling. I don't benefit from dating. Any woman my own age who's available will be carrying around several bags of red flags and deal breakers, and I am left to pick the least bad option. None of these women want to date me. None of these women wanted to date me 5, 10, 15 years ago. Now that they've fully accepted Uber Chad doesn't want them for anything but sex and everyone else rejected them, they're finally willing to stoop to me. Now that I am better than I was, but I don't want them. I want their superior, younger, less embittered ladies. And a lot of ladies.
25, why would this bitter guy be entitled to an embittered lady? Like, I don't know. It seems like he's not exactly, coming off as Mr. Sunshine here, saying
yeah.
He could look at it as the girl only has half a bag of red flags.
Well, well, that part is he's basically saying, well, now since he's the older guy with everything, then the younger girls are just going to want him. Why settle for a woman that didn't want him when they were that young? Yeah. It's just the reverse mindset. That's really all it is. And everyone comes with baggage. That's not just a girl thing. Everyone has baggage. That's, that's whatever thing.
This comment right here kind of brings up the exact thing I was bringing up earlier. The whole women are going after the unattainable and then wait too long when they could have had the attainable back 5, 10, 15 years ago.
And a lot of ladies, ages 25 to 35, are happy to date a guy in his 40s and are a lot more fun, open-minded, sexually open-minded, and often don't have all the same demand lists. So if I have entered my prime value, then I am not dating women who've lost 50% of theirs. And you know what I'm saying? It also, I know this is all just talk. It also comes down to personality as well. Even if the woman didn't choose the right guy when she was in her 20s or 25, or she was 25 years old, if she has a great personality and she still has a good head on her shoulders, I think that's fine. People make mistakes all the time, but we're just talking in general. Like, that's why women usually don't have good guys. They kind of miss opportunities. Why would I date? It takes a lot of time and energy, and I don't care enough about any of them to try to play Shakespeare in online dating chats, hoping she sees my message in the dolge of thousands. I don't want the burden of carrying the conversation and keeping it interesting. Dating is like a second job that doesn't pay and costs a lot. What's in it for me? What's my benefit? I get to give you attention and validate you and feed your ego. But what's in it for me? I bet you think just being around you is a worthy reward. All that's true. Yeah, that's.
But sounds bitter.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I wouldn't say men have given up, but we've adjusted our expectations, and what we expect is a chain of 99 problems, and we don't want the headache. When any woman reads something similar to this, you're just bitter and hate women. You prove my next 5 points for me, so I won't bother making them. Instead, I will say that we live in a double standard society where it's sacred to be a woman and a curse to be a man.
Well, I'm sorry, everybody. I called him bitter, so that's my bad that he's not giving us the other 5 points. How could you, Gray?
I'm upvoting that. That was an actual just banger comment right there.
It sounds a little embittered in himself. It doesn't sound like this is like the most pleasant person to be around. It sounds very defeatist going into it.
5 out of 5 stars.
I'm just saying, like, I would not consider myself like top percentile. Definitely not like earnings potential. Like when I met the most women in my life, I don't know. I was a musician who like had no money whatsoever. Like I was just like a dirt bag. So they weren't after me for that. And I would not say that I have like the best looks either. But
yes,
I don't know, man. I was able to do all right. Well, don't get me wrong. My jar is pretty flattering. But I've got kind of a boxy figure.
No, but the girls will do that. Girls will be like, well, why would you ever leave me for another woman? Well, what the fuck do you have? Well, the girls always do that. Like, you'll never find another woman like me. Yes, I can. The other 10 other girls that are out there that are just like you. Like, what is, like, I got what he was saying there. Because then you got to tell her you're the best ever. He didn't deserve you. And it's like, I don't even know how their last relationship ended. I don't even know. She could be lying to me for all I know. Because, girls definitely tell the truth all the time. Don't we know that? But no, I get your point too. Like, some of this stuff does sound kind of bitter, because if you weren't the guy that girls naturally chose, and you're going to be kind of bitter, that's just going to be just kind of what it is too.
It's for a childish thing though.
Yeah, it's just, that's how people are. They're petty. I agree. He says, as a guy, I am disappointed that most guys I know started to avoid women relationships. Do men think they don't need women in 2022? Let's not be that bad.
It's not worth the trouble a lot of times.
That's not the reason. Most young women are college brainwashed to hate men. That is true. This one I don't disagree with. My son lives in Denver. Obviously, that's Colorado. That's in Colorado. And Colorado is, left as all far as can be. Big liberal population. He makes good money. $34 an hour. Not bad looking. Very intelligent. I asked him if he had a girlfriend. He said no. Said they're not worth dating. They're probably the girls that are like, men ain't shit. You gotta be all in their feelings. What are the stupidest things people overspend on in the U.S.? In my experience, the average American overpays for things constantly. Here are the 5 worst culprits.
Oh, you gotta watch. No. That's like sponsored shit.
Yeah, that was.
That's not
it's usually coffee.
Questions.
Oh no, it's usually coffee.
That's not actually. Americans, look.
No, I know. I
downvoted
that. They lied to me. Downvote. Why don't men chase women anymore when they're only told no once?
Because if you're told, no, if you're told no,
it's over. Yeah, you just leave. Another girl. Yeah. That's what normal people should do. You shouldn't become a stalker like Riley.
No means no. So if you're said, hey, can I get your number? No, it's over.
Probably burnt out on dating or heading to the Magic the Gathering for life. God. Women are angels who cannot lie. We also don't poop. Fun fact. Do women actually shit? I don't even know.
My wife didn't fart in front of me for about 2 years till she finally had a kid, and now she can't stop.
Oh my God.
She's like,
take her out of the house.
I didn't believe she actually. No, I was like, I just want you to fucking fart. Just fart one time, please. And she wouldn't. She didn't.
So now she's like #drive-by.
Now I'm like, oh, it's on now. I'm fucking Dutch oven.
Oh my God. Dating is not a game. People are busy. Mentioning your interest in someone is always a risk. People don't like to be turned down. It never feels great. My time is valuable, and I assume that so is yours. If I'm interested in a woman and I make this known to her and she turns me down, I consider that she meant no. Yeah. Any guy out there. If a girl tells you no and you took a shot and she said no, it happens. It sucks. Do not turn into a crazy weirdo that stalks her. Do not do that. Never do that. I understand things happen, but just don't go fucking insane.
Hey, as the mayor of Friendville, I'm that zone. I mean, a lot of guys that have said no have been told no, but still they want to keep us in their lives.
Yep.
Happy friend zone.
Have men given up on women? Absolutely, we have given up on women. Now, speak for yourself. In a day when women have huge numbers of sexual partners, foolish tattoos, and piercings that make them look like a piece of bait, women have ceased to be women. Let's add the incredibly bad attitude most women have. Seriously, when you spend your time around modern women, so like, I don't know, women that are probably like, they were born in like 2000. That would be like 24, 21-ish now. That's what I consider a modern woman. Kind of like my ex. She'd be a modern woman. You realize how loud, mean, sarcastic, and boring they are. Damn, fuck. This guy's meaner than me. Holy shit. Hypersexualizations is the order of the day with TikTok twerking videos, skimping clothing, but not for attention. Of course not. And the focus of their lives is how many likes she can get with her simp thirst trap videos. Adding to all this is the widely biased legal system that favors women no matter how badly they behave and actually encourages bad behavior in marriage. You have to wonder why any man would risk his life with a modern woman. Yeah, I tell people, what's the benefit of getting married, really? I don't really know what the benefit of getting married is, honestly.
It used to be there used to be a lot of benefits to it. Like,
it used to be,
not only financially, you had someone you can call your partner.
Yeah.
Now like this, and look, not knocking people don't get married. I told him I'm a firm believer that if you both don't want it, then don't do it.
Yeah,
but
like
now everyone's called a partner now, so like
I'm not saying that people shouldn't get married, and I get it. It was a traditional thing back in the day, and I don't hate it. I'm just saying, whenever I ask people why should you get married, their answer is always random basic stuff, but it's never like it's like they're always talking through
love,
you. They're not actually
happiness,
answering.
Stability.
Nothing
important.
It's right now.
Green card
a little better.
Oh no! I'm saying you can have all that without marriage. You can have it all without a piece of paper. She can do all that for you.
I don't think you can get a green card without marriage.
Oh God! Oh no!
All right, you can like for certain like jobs and stuff.
You need to stop looking at my search history for mail order brides.
He means male MALE order brides.
One fascinating and horrifying trend is the increased efforts by states to extract more resources from men and give them to women outside of marriage. Yeah, I knew a guy. I mean, just Pearly things. I know people don't like her, but she mentioned that one of her black guys that she uses to run her show, like the camera guy, they said he has permanent alimony. I don't even know if that. I didn't know that was even a thing, but apparently he has like lifetime alimony.
It happens
even after you're not married to a woman, and the child support payments are over. When they turn 18, the child support payments they're done because you're adult now. You can still pay alimony. It gets stupid.
Some places they'll order that, especially if the woman doesn't meet anybody else or doesn't get a job. They're considered accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and you have to provide that because you took that on when you married them.
In some areas, the alimony will stop if they get remarried, which ends up some women not choosing to have a boyfriend for the rest of their lives, not get remarried.
Yeah.
So that they can continue to get that check.
Yep. Like, and that thing is, if you ever, I'm not wishing divorce on people, but if you ever did get divorced, then whatever state, not the state you're in, it really depends on whatever city you're in or what town, potentially everything you earn from your job, obviously you're already taking care of your kids. Child support and alimony. Yeah, that is also another reason not to get married. Who wants to go through that? Who wants to basically go to work to know you ain't working for shit? You literally live life paying bills, and that's it. That's depressing as fuck.
For the 6 years I was married to my second ex, she can go after those 6 years of my retirement I put up.
Yeah.
So she could go grab that anytime she wants.
Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not ever saying marriage is the awful thing, but the downsides of it, the risks are way too big. It is not worth it. I'm sorry, like, I just don't see the point in marrying someone that she or you get divorced and then she takes everything you have. Now, I'm pretty sure that also involved like prenups and everything. So I forgot how it worked. You just don't sign one or whatever, or you do sign one or whatever. Whichever one where it causes you not to give them anything is the one.
Those aren't as ironclad as people think.
They used to be. Yeah.
Oh God, there's so many loopholes especially in certain states like Louisiana. There's so many loopholes.
Bye, Tank. Have a good night, buddy.
Later, bud. There's so many loopholes to get away with in this state because of the law system we use here. It's the Napoleonic system back from when the country was founded. Every other state has adopted a new system. So, like, if you want to screw someone over in a contract, come here. Easy.
In many Western countries, just being in a relationship, not married, not living together, no children, for more than 2 years is enough for the state to consider you married and entitling her to all the rights of a divorced woman.
Yep.
That's whoever invented that is beyond stupid. That's so dumb. But that's the thing. He's not lying. That's true. That's true. That's
partnership.
It's
domestic. It's the domestic partnership, and actually, I believe it's 5 years, not 2.
Yeah. Well, no, some places it is 2. I know here they got rid of it completely. I think.
Chloe says, "Real talk. I feel like a lot of men who describe themselves as being in a friend zone. I actually know what the friend zone is. My definition of the friend zone. I'm not sure this is the actual definition. I see it as if you like a girl and she tells you no, and she just only considers you a friend, where she says, "I only consider you a friend." To me, that's the friend zone.
Yep,
that's what I would consider it.
That's what I would consider a friend zone. Even if you start off as a friend with no intention, and then later going, "Hey, you want to know what we get along? You interested in a date?"
Yeah.
Then they say, "Well, I'm not looking for that with you. I see you too much as a friend, and I don't want to, and I don't see any kind of romantic." That is friend zone.
Yeah. I would say it is.
Yeah.
Why? It definitely seems like a mismatch of interests. Like, it's kind of the same type of deal as the like I can change him thing. It's like, well, I can change her. I can make her see me as more than friends. Where it's like, come on, both of those are not accepting reality.
Right.
I can make her less of a whore.
Oh God damn. Jesus, he just went fucking for the jugular on that one.
God,
or is it simply just on the hook?
No, like, dude, sometimes those girls that put you in the friend zone are already entertaining like 10 different guys. They could just snap their fingers and have one. Like, you gotta really stand out if they're ever picking you. But then again, like I said before, could be not compatible either. Maybe his dick is small. Maybe he's not that attractive. I don't have those things.
I've been friend zoned by a lot of women, and a lot of women, of those women, a bunch of those women have come back and said, they've come find me after like they didn't know I was married, because I don't really like project.
Yeah,
I don't really,
women are more like
my
I'm
life
married. Yeah,
online.
definitely. Yeah.
But like they'll come and they're like, hey, how you been? I've been good. What you been up to? And as you're talking back and forth, like, oh, so you see anyone? Yeah, I'm married. Oh, well, I was hoping. Well, you had your chance 7 years ago when you told me I was not what you're looking for. Oh, but wait, I am what you're looking for, because I am stable. I have a house. I have a vehicle. Now what you're looking for? I'm sorry. I appreciate the I'm honored and touched. But
I know she's pinballing off 5 guys. I know she's pinballing off 6 guys.
I'll clean up after them.
Yeah, I'll clean up the mess that they made for me. Shit.
But overall, but again, that's friend zone may not even involve actually an intention ever for a relationship between the two. Friend zone's a friend zone, even if there was never an intention of a relationship. So that's the other thing too.
I would always say it's better to start at I know friend zone's like a bad thing that guys think. I've always disagreed with that.
No, friend
good to start
friend zone is good in my opinion.
Yeah.
Chloe kind of explained what she was saying just now.
That's fine.
Oh.
How you guys define friend zone is exactly what I mean. A proper friend zone is an abusive and ambiguous state where the two aren't dating, but the woman gets mad if he goes to someone else, but also expects the man to behave like a boyfriend without her behaving like a girlfriend. That's another thing too.
Definitely can.
Yeah, that's on the hook. That's more like on the
sucks.
hook.
I've also heard that
I've heard that
what
too.
They call it, like
in my opinion.
the bullpen or in the batter's box as well. Like I've heard like they keep some guys on deck just in case.
She's specifically not stating that though.
It's a certain type of person that would definitely do that. I don't know. I have seen people who were actually only interested in friends, and I have been friends with them, and I don't feel like they were jealous of anything that I was doing, and it wasn't like this weird abusive state. But no, I agree with you. Like, I'm not sure that was truly friend zone. Instead, it was just like shot my shot, and instead, but I'm interested in friends.
What that's a girl keeping. She's essentially trying to keep an option open. That's essentially what that is,
right? Yeah. And in my case, like I'm because I joke about friend zone, but I have a friend. I hung out with her today,
and you friend zoned her. That's how it happened.
Well, no. It's while we for both of us, we dated in the past. We both did. We're not clearly compatible enough, but we are very close and we get along. So we're in the friend zone together. She wants me to find relationships. She's trying to get me out there, even though now she's married and has her relationships and I'm happy for her. None of us are jealous of what they're doing. And in fact, we're wishing the best for each other and trying to motivate. So that is the friend zone that more or less that I talk about, not necessarily the stringing along. Yep, the stringing, stringing along.
That's not how I would call friend zone. What we said that you agree with, that's the friend zone. That's someone
it's a toxic version of it, though.
Yeah,
because it would be the same thing of like the guy who's obsessed with her, so he's just being the puppy dog. Like, maybe she doesn't even want it, but like, come on, how many times have you seen that? Also, very toxic relationship where this dude is pretending to be friends just so that he can get close, and he's ready to weasel his way in any way that he could.
Yeah.
Almost
that's not real friendship either.
Almost every guy's
it's another version of the toxic version of the friend zone.
Toxic femininity.
Yeah. I've always just called that what fatal. That's just stringing someone along, or she's the more better way to say keeping your options open. That's essentially what that is. But then again, girls know they can do that because the girl knows. Well, the guy knows that the girl knows that she can get anyone from that pool of options she has. For
every one woman I know who was like that, who was in the guy's place, I know 30 dudes who was in a woman's place. Like, I know a few women who were strung along and hung on to the guy thinking they had a chance.
Yeah, it's not that you're
wrong.
Every
one woman like that is like 30 dudes that'll do that.
Yeah, Chloe, I'm not disagreeing.
It's not that you're wrong. That's just a different version of what the friend zone is. That's the friend zone, but there's a different way of saying it's just a different definition of that. But no, you're not wrong. Hi, Toasty. How you doing? Yeah, it's really weird because like I grew up where I kind of wanted to get to know someone first, and if I inadvertently was thrown in the friend zone, to be fair, that's the territory that you go with. But I'd rather just get to know that person first to understand if we kind of like have any chemistry. I don't want to just jump into a relationship. That's usually how that shit always ends fast. It's always the reverse, or if you start to get to know someone first, then became a thing, That's how it always worked out better, instead of just jumping straight into it and then thinking
later
on.
Growing up, I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was you jump into it as quick as possible until you get older, then you find a one. I got a few friends that their first girlfriend or first boyfriend, they've been together since fucking 92. They're still together. Happy as shit. Never even held another person's hand.
That's
and some relationships are like that.
And they're happy as shit. Yeah. And I think that's the coolest stuff of shit in the world.
You know, I mean, I've gone into relationships that started off as friends. And they find they do have a lot of chemistry, but then in the long run, they just in the end it was not compatible. And then we kind of just went our separate ways.
Yeah.
Mark Morris, he says, why are many single men over 30 not interested in women? This came out 3 years ago, so 2021. It's not that bad. I'm 46.
The premise right there is already wrong. Men over 30 are still interested in women.
Oh, yeah, that's. I'm 46 and I've been mostly single all my life. I've dabbled with relationships. I've had one or two which were great for a while, but they ended with a great deal of regret and heartache, which takes me a hell of a long time to get over. Frankly, I don't think women are worth it. Of course, there are times when I'm lonely. It would be nice to go to sleep and wake up with someone, but I don't think having that is worth the endless compromise of having to keep a woman happy. And trust me, the novelty soon wears off. When I get lonely, I just think about married people, and I know that puts my head straight. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Tomorrow, I don't think I have, what do I have tomorrow? I have to check my schedule. Let's see. Tomorrow, it's just me and Professor Savage Dad tomorrow for Wednesday Top G's. Unless we do a panel show, unless we have it as a panel show, which we usually don't. We kind of just do that one-on-one because he likes to keep me all to himself. I make him choose me over his wife. I graduated from friend to boyfriend, and it's currently still working out. Hell yeah.
There you go.
Just go. Maybe we're crazy. We're hearing it from a guy perspective. I want to hear from a girl's perspective. I want to type into Quora the girl perspective. So what would girls frame that as for that question?
Well, no, not you.
No, yeah, Chloe, that's Chloe, right. I mean, I agree, Chloe. Yeah, but saying, let's see, I don't consider saying only see you as a friend as friend zoning because I consider that setting a boundary. No, that's very true. You are. I mean, the friend zoning by setting that boundary. Hey, this is as far as I feel I can ever take a relationship. You're a friend. It's never going to get past that. That is the boundary. And so if you want to be in my life and you want to still be friends, that's fine, but it will never proceed past that. Okay, so personally, I understand that means it's not going to go any further, but just enjoy each other's company when you go out and enjoy something that happens to both be of the same interest. But just know that you want to know what? You're just not going to be in a relationship. That's fine. For one thing, it's a clarification of that boundary to go, okay, so I will still keep and still look for someone else, but not lose a relationship in the process of a friend.
For sure. And I think there's some guys who will kind of view that as a challenge. And it's like, oh, but I can change your mind. And I think that's a toxic trait for sure.
That is a toxic
trait. I think a lot of guys would consider that like, hey, I'm only interested in being friends would be friend zoning. So it may be a difference in how we're using it for sure.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of do it. Like if a girl clearly says, hey, I won't see you as anything but a friend, that's different. Now, to be fair, as Darnell said, that woman 5 years from that point of that interaction could come back to you and be like, hey, people take things definitively way too much because a no now could be a yes later on, or it could never be a yes. We can't predict the future.
You just gotta look at what the yes is. Is it a genuine yes, or is it hey, you're stable, so I want to come find you?
Tony, in that case, that is in my personal opinion, that's a woman trying to keep a man on a hook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keeping options open. That's the toxic side. That's the toxic behavior.
Trav. Updated 11 months ago. Oh my God, this guy gave a list. He's one of the Muslim Wong Ching Chongs who spit bars. Oh Lord.
YouTube.
Oh yeah. It's also reaffirming that boundary. I've been the boyfriend to another friend, and they realized I wasn't what they wanted. Yeah, sometimes people, I don't know, like guys, we sometimes be thinking with our fucking dicks too much. We think the woman is what we want because they look at someone attractive. It turns out sometimes not really that.
Hold on, no, it's like I was.
Wait, finish your statement. You're saying sometimes you don't want women, MSK?
No. Sometimes the woman finds out. Wait, I'm not finishing that. That's gonna make me take an L, and I don't take L's.
Right. No, but that is very true. You may get into a relationship, find that the relationship doesn't work, and then essentially you could look at it as a downgrade or keeping a friend, and you go into friend zone with them because, well, a relationship just didn't work out between you two, but you still get along in the friends. There's no romantic interest in between the both.
Let me check Rumble and see if anyone's chatting on there. But this guy wrote a fucking essay. I love people that do that stuff. It makes me get into the brain more. I love it. All right, no one's on Rumble. Oh, this is Tank. Oh yeah, well he was here. Okay, just making sure. All right, why are young men giving up on dating? The reason is simple, but he lists like 50 things. Whatever, doesn't matter. When it comes to dating, there is no equality for young men. Have you heard of a phrase which women keep on saying when they are single? Why am I not getting a good man for dating? Do you really think that's true? Young men have already seen the reality or listened to some other real life story of some other guy or somewhere been in that phase of experience of dating. They know that women talk about equality is the same women who want to date someone in a much better position than her is every perspective. Listing some of those below. Number 1, young women want to date men who are earning even when she is herself jobless or someone earning more than her. Have you ever heard a good earning woman dating a jobless guy? Maybe in fairy tales, I guess,
no,
or
man.
very rare
in the
instances.
Arts. Like every actor, every musician, every like scumbag that I know of,
every scumbag,
arts, they generally are being, well, how do you earn, rent as an artist? I gotta say, there's a lot of fine women out there who are willing to not be interested in a certain amount that a guy makes. Instead, it's kind of more, how else can you help in this particular relationship? I don't know. There might be a certain type that he's looking at. Like, maybe don't go up to the chick with like the Chanel bag, the Gucci. I'm just saying, like, perhaps that isn't the type of woman who would be interested in a guy who has more artistic things to offer than specifically like a bank account.
Number 2, young women want a guy who looks smart or have a great physique, even when her looks are average. I can't disagree with that one. That's pretty apparent. Young women being unclear with her intentions and demands. Yeah, we talked about that. Even let's consider having materialistic needs is not a big issue. It's their choice, or she may find the guy she is looking for as per her needs. But when asked about dating choices or what they look into a young man, they will generally tell picture of a guy who is caring, loving, good personality, good nature, nice behavior, etc. They will never list some of the materialistic needs of her. Young, inexperienced men do fall for this every time, thinking that her needs align with mine, or he considers that is a good match as per his standards of equality. But the reality is, a ton of guys have been rejected by this misconception in their first phase. Jeez, good lord. Number 4. Good lord! Young women generally tell that guys have unrealistic standards when it comes to beauty or men. Look for women who are exceptionally good looking as compared to them. Yes, that's true, but very few cases when it comes to dating. Men these days have a great fear of rejection every time. Even before approaching, they match his qualities with her. Why on earth they will want to face that rejection from a beautiful woman? Okay. He quite literally wrote an actual essay.
That has stopped me from approaching a lot of women because looking at them, seeing their looks, I'm like, this chick's she's a 10. I'm a fucking 2 on a good day.
It's that devil that grows right there. He's like, man, you can't approach it. You know you ain't shit.
And dude, it's embarrassing to get rejected. Like that, it definitely knocks you down a peg for sure. Can I ask? So obviously MSK has never been approached by a woman, but have you ever been like asked out? Like, I gotta be honest, it's a completely different skill. Like turning somebody down if you're not interested. I've gone on dates because I didn't know how to say no to them. It's like, that's an idea. And then like she just ran to her friends, like, okay, like he said yes. It's like, did I?
I've run into women that I've had to be like, look, this doesn't work out for me, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was scared shitless. Half the times I just kind of like ran the other direction. Not literally, but like I went the other direction. It took a long time to learn to let someone down.
For sure. It's a skill that I had never really practiced, and I failed miserably when the moment came.
I joke, but like I do think I'm like a 2. But like I've rejected a lot of people in the past 5 or 6 years. And it's and I hate to say that there have been times when it's caught me off guard. I mean, like, I'm married, sorry, but like the other times when I wasn't caught off guard, I'm like, I appreciate it. Unfortunately, this is the situation. I mean, not unfortunately I'm with my wife, but like, I was able to make it a little less demeaning for that person.
Yeah, well, I think people gotta understand rejection just sucks no matter how it's done. It's just gonna suck.
Yeah.
Chloe says, it's always frustrating when my friends vent to me about guys and I can tell they're being unclear about what they want. Yeah, that's the thing with women. Sometimes women just can't.
Some guys properly, are like that too.
Yeah, a lot of people can't ever properly voice what they want specifically.
MSK, what do you want specifically?
I just want sex and I want you to leave. No, I'm not kidding. Sex, you get the fuck out.
Yeah, I said some guys like that too, but it's a lot more women are like that.
I'll say. Or it's something they can't do. They're embarrassed to say it, I would say. Some people can.
Well, I think there's a reason why there is the trope of like, you will never get an answer when you ask a woman, like, where do you want to go out to eat or whatever.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Like it is definitely harder to sometimes express what you want to somebody else.
Based on what you just said, I have been the guy that have been told, don't tell anybody we're sleeping together because they were embarrassed with me. And take that for whatever you want. I took that as because I was ugly, but still, I mean,
that's how that's how most people take that.
I won't say anything because this is some good stuff we're doing. So
I've in the past had relationships that we've worked out a way of expressing when it's hard to say it to each other's faces, that we add a special little communication system that we used when there was something that was bothering us, but we didn't know how to word it properly and didn't want it coming off. We would write it down and give it to the other person so that there could be that communication. Like, it's like, this is just something that's been bothering me and I don't want it to be misconstrued or misheard, but this is what I'm feeling about this certain situation. And it worked out really well. Granted, it just, the relationship ended for other reasons, but in the long run, it's a good device. When it's
those little complaint notes sound awesome.
Yeah, it's a way to kind of express just there's just this thing that's just bothering me, and being able to word it properly so it's not in a fit of anger. It's split moment. You have a little bit of time to think about it, and gives the other person a little bit of time to look at it and think about it and going, you want to know what? I know what you're talking about. I never realized maybe this problem in myself on how I communicate, or a behavior that I have that maybe I never see, that I'm willing to. It's like, you want to know what? That is something that I probably should look into, maybe improving about myself. And maybe that's why I have problems with a couple other people, because let's say my tone sometimes when I'm getting frustrated comes off arrogant. I never catch it, but maybe that's why I'm having problems with work relationships with a couple people, because when I'm getting angry with them, I'm coming off arrogant. So, I mean, there's good. I mean, that I find that is a good little tool.
No, I was an asshole, but no, that sounds really awesome, man. There's so many problems in relationships that have come up because I wasn't able to actually express it. I think your method would have been really awesome. Like, I probably could have written it down and it would have come off a lot less heated or, impassioned than if I had just like tried to say this and ended up blurting it out in a weird way. That's some solution, man.
I had that problem too. I sound angry when I'm talking to people. So yeah, that's actually something that
I have the ability to constantly roll my eyes, and that usually is off-putting.
Yeah.
Some young women see dating some kind of competition as they compare their partners with others. Yeah, this is what a lot of people do. They'll be like, yeah, my ex-partner did all these other things for me. Oh, that's usually never a good thing. That's actually, I don't think that's ever a good thing, generally.
I think it's okay if you're setting boundaries or setting expectations, I should say, because I did that with my current wife. I kind of like listen, these not like sexist, but like things are like, look, these things what I experienced, and
real,
and this is something I that I'm working to stop, to stop expecting a relationship to be this horrible. And she understood that, and we got past, and she understood, and she did the same thing. We kind of got past those things together.
What's the next? Where we're at? I'm pretty sure I have seen this in many cases. Females getting jealous on seeing her friend's partner and comparing with their partner, irrespective of their point of interest. 6. Some young men often first befriend with the woman they want to date so that they know each other well enough. Yes, nothing is wrong in that. Base of every relationship is based on the fact how well you know each other. But things don't work out that way they expect when they ask her out, actually. Then mostly they see the same women in with some kind of playboy or a guy with charismatic looks in just a few days who is mostly a stranger to them. Thus, these situations make them lose hope eventually as they see that their efforts and time does not matter when it comes to dating.
Yeah. So, yeah, Tony, it depends. Tony asked a question. Yeah. It depends. I mean, I was involved in one a few years before I met my wife, and it worked out great for everyone involved. And I got to the point I was like, you know what? I want more. And they're like, well, appreciate it. High five. Good day. Bye.
High five.
Open relationships.
It's literally how it ended. Like, we're still friends, though.
Right. Well, open relationships, in my opinion, can work if everyone on board and everyone that's involved in it is fine with that being what is going to be the norm. And understand that that's a boundary in itself, and it is not for everyone. Not everyone can do it. Some have to have that monogamy with just you and a partner. It's
and is there
each their own.
Gonna be an end date to this? Like, at some point, are you gonna want more? Are they gonna want more? Like, is it just a temporary thing?
And that's where, again, that open communication has to be in there, especially in an open relationship. All parties, it's got to be open communication between all parties that are involved.
Yeah.
Just advice or piece of advice for young men. Please don't waste too much time. Please don't waste too much of your time and effort in knowing and being friend with the women you want to date. If a girl is not clear with her intentions while dating or is not giving you clear answer to you after dating for some days, then first make your intentions clear to her that what you want and anything below this, like being friend to her forever, is not acceptable to you. And after that, just please back off. You're wasting your time with her. If a woman is clear to date you and is confident will surely come in a relationship with you, she won't wait, as she does not want to lose you. These dialogues of her, like, I am not looking for any relationships, or I want to focus on something else. Yeah, obviously she is looking to discover new elements someday. Or things are complicated now. Let's be friends till then, etc., etc. Please don't waste time and effort on a woman who makes these kind of statements. You'll end up hurting yourself eventually for sure. Yeah. If someone is not clear about those kind of things up front, wasting your time, just don't even bother. That is like an instant red flag.
Yeah.
And we did a good show tonight, boys. You guys are cloud chasing.
Look, I thought the same thing about like the open relationships when I was like, but then I was dating. I was like, one girl, so I started talking to her. She's like, listen, like our second date, she's like, listen, I need you to know something. This is X. It's like X. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I was like, man, this worked out. This is pretty awesome.
The autism might be why I vibe more with guys. I don't know for sure, but I feel strong. I feel guys are more straightforward, which is, guys are usually supposed to be more straightforward. That's usually a guy thing, mostly a guy trait. Women are more like, you gotta kind of pry it out of them.
Yeah, kind of beat around the bush or make you guess. I didn't mean that in that sense, but
they'll always say that. They'll always say that. Yeah,
they make you guess or like, well, you should know how I feel. Like, motherfucker, we've been together for 6 years. I'm not. I just know. I just tell me what the fuck you want. I'm tired. You know. No, yeah. Well, we saw your first message.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I kind of use the writing thing too slow. I said it in other places, but in some case, some don't know. I'm actually autistic myself. So, of course, communication is something I struggle with a lot. Is it like the bad autism where you go fucking insane? Or you're the one where, kind of like, damn, I don't know. There's several forms of it, isn't it? There's like high functioning.
Severe, not bad.
There's like severe. Yeah. There's severe. There's moderate.
I don't think you meant bad as in bad, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you out with YouTube here.
There's a lady that's a crazy OnlyFans chick. She says she's autistic, but she's not like the one that could like play the drones really fast. She's so I don't know what level you are, but that's not a bad thing, because I'm actually crazy myself.
You calling her autistic?
No, MSK is definitely on the spectrum.
Oh yeah, he has to be. I mean,
what? Oh my goodness,
dude! My wife believes everyone is on the spectrum. Like, and I'm not being sarcastic. She's a nurse, and she's like everyone. I see like because she deals with chronically ill kids, like chronically complex care. Complex care is a place she works in, and she's like, I see like, and she knows autism, the 10 big signs and everything. She's like, I see it, like in everybody has something.
And even not being,
it's not okay. Got you. Mint salad would be around mid to high.
I can see that.
And on top of that, well, and it's not even just the not with autism in itself, but even people that, let's say, aren't on the spectrum still even have problems expressing their words.
Yeah.
They're just not either they're not articulate or
a
have
lot of that.
You're better at like Chloe. I didn't know you had autism until you just told me right now. You were fine at explaining the things you were explaining.
But she's saying is doing it by text is easier. It makes
it instead of the face-to-face conversation of an issue or something like that. Writing
she's autistic, but you wouldn't be able to tell based on her writings because it's easy for her to conversate that way. Emerald said something I was going to comment on. I forgot. My brain.
Oh, he was saying that even people that aren't autistic aren't even able to converse.
Yeah, a lot of that is just because. And look, I know ADHD has some foundation in autism. There's that is a reason. Also, the generation of burying your face in a damn screen that has taken away a lot of skills we had as a society with communication.
Yeah,
like most women I've dated, and I didn't do this on purpose, but for a while, from like my mid-20s to like I've met my wife. Most of the women I dated were 22 when I met them, and it wasn't like I didn't know their age like the second or third date. But
okay, Leo,
I found my wife made that joke one time. She's like, that you kind of like 4 women in a row. Like, it was not intentional, but I found.
It was not unintentional?
3 of the 4 had almost little to no, like, ability to speak. They would rather, like, text me sitting at the same table. Or they would rather, if I'd call them, they get pissed off.
Young and not talkative.
No, I hated that. And I mean, I was... the 3 of them, I was in a bad spot. Like, I was very lonely. So I kind of, like, ignored red flags. Just because I was really, really lonely. But they had like little to no, like they hit it well the first couple of dates, and then it came out where like they'd rather text me from like the sofa, or they hated phone calls. I'm leaving work, they'd just text me. Like I'd rather a phone call. And if there's like a medical reason like autism or something for that reason, I'm all for it. I understand, but I would get mad. Like, it's because you don't want to. It's not because you can't or it's hard. You never learn those skills, and you don't want to learn those skills, which drove me up a fucking wall.
I know at times for me, I have problems with words in general as well. Yeah. And that's been, and it's because when at a younger age, I was diagnosed with ADD. So, I mean, my mind is constantly racing. I can have multiple thoughts at once, and it's trying to get it down to one specific thing that I want to say, but I'm being bombarded with multiple words at the same time. Yeah. Now, granted, I'm not hyperactive in any kind of way. It's just my
that just happened here when you were talking. It like my brain was formulating an answer to you, and then started something else, and I couldn't get back that train of thought.
Yep,
I know exactly.
Or easily taken off the train of thought.
Yes.
I
have that sometimes. I have that at work where, like, to get myself through work, I'll focus on one thing completely, whether it'll be just anything, honestly, to get through it. I have days where so many things go through my brain about, how much stuff I'm actually doing here on, like, YouTube that my brain gets overloaded. And I'm like, nope, I need to sit down and just think about this one thing and get through this one thing. It's like, it's the feeling of not feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you're not going to get to everything in a timely fashion. That's kind of what.
So you say I'm whelmed, but not overly.
No. It's a version of being overwhelmed, but you're essentially being overwhelmed with not being able to give many things the time that they need.
See, that's different for me. I can really multitask and have many projects going and never lose where I am in many different projects.
That's awesome.
I can be jumping around from project to project and be at the exact same spot that I left off. Really, not even have to. That. Yeah, I'm really
surprised that MSK is saying he gets derailed. I'd always heard the opposite.
No, for me, for me, if I want to, because I can learn many things and store them in my brain. But for me to do that, I have to only be focused on that one thing the entire day to learn everything about it.
That's how.
I'll use Power Ranger comics for example. I wasn't too well versed in Power Ranger comics, so there was a Sunday. I spent 3 to 5 hours learning everything about them, and my brain expanded when I was like, holy fuck, that's a lot of info. And I had to process it and everything. So I'll take like a day, or it'll be a day where I want to learn a new anime or get into like history. It depends on what it is. Right now, what I'm going to do that for is like YuGiOh. Right now, I'm focusing on YuGiOh a little bit more because I'm going to get that YuGiOh channel started again. So today I was focusing on what I'm going to say in this video and all sort of stuff. So yeah, just people need to understand when you get older, this is hypothetically, the world will still be here tomorrow. Your house will still be there. You'll have time to get to it. Just think about it that way. Keep a clear head, focus on one thing. Think of it like chipping away at something. You're going to keep chipping away at it until you have nothing else there and you get something else going. You don't have to feel overwhelmed.
Fatal just busted me.
Emerald can get 40% of its.
But that is the downside of it. Is that I can get a lot of projects going. It's getting to completion on some of those.
A favorite YuGiOh monster or League champion? My favorite League champion? Man, I used to main top lane, so I have a lot of favorite League champions. Actually, people call me sexist, but I pull up my League win history. My most played champions are women. All my most played champions are highest win rate champions or women champions. Just saying.
Emerald, I'm with you, bud. I've got a 3D printer, a laser engraver, my game console. I have like 5 or 6 projects I'm about 30-40% at, and I just stop them all. I get to this point where I'm like, I'm done. I can't.
My completion rate, I mean, is higher. But it usually end up to a certain point where it gets prioritized of what becomes more important. Yeah. And so other things can get put on a side burner while I focus then finally on a specific project till completion. So, I mean, I can get a lot of projects started, get up to a certain point, and then one of those projects ends up taking priority, and then I end up focusing fully on that project while the other ones are sitting completed at 40%.
Yeah. Yeah, Chloe's right. And then that's what I was getting at, the 2 to 3 women that they weren't even trying to learn or fill in those communication skills. It was just easier for them to just do that. And another reason I like talking is you guys know I have a lot to say. I've growing up in the house I grew up in, I felt that my reasoning was never good enough. So I felt the need to over-explain myself. So like I find it's easier than typing a fucking novel. I can get it out to you.
Yeah. And sometimes some things are just not conveyed properly through text as they are just speaking. That's why I told people I'm saying we don't have none of us have any issues with each other. But if we ever did, I wouldn't rather talk. I'd rather text about it. I want to speak physically to it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just gonna have a different impact and different meaning. Are you talking about Yu-Gi-Oh specifically? Oh, Dark Magician's always my favorite.
Fatal, same thing. I have a shit ton of minis I haven't even fucking started painting.
For Warhammer?
I can't. No, D&D.
Okay.
D&D minis. Sorry. I've painted 2 or 3.
Warhammer's for nerds.
Started a bunch of others. I'll show
you guys this right now. Like the same thing with comics. I have stacks here of comics, trade paperbacks, omnibuses, indies. People want me to reviewing for them. It's just they might as well take one. Better you use your time whenever you have free time. If there's something you really want to get to, is what I've learned and what I've been doing myself, and something that I've learned from other people. The hours that you know you have free, take one of those hours and do that thing you were saying. Just 1 hour to get it done. And if you only can do it, and if you can only do it a week, that's fine. At least you're doing it that hour. Okay, take an hour to do that thing you want, and just keep chipping it away. Just as long as you know you're doing it and you're consistently doing it, you're fine.
That's kind of what SC Johnson is trying to get me to. We talked about this novel idea I've been working on since 2000. She's trying to get me past that spot I always stop at. Yeah, I gave her the outline, and she about 2 weeks ago she's okay. Now give me the characters. I haven't done anything on it, and it's like I need to. It's to slow my brain down enough to sit down and type it. I could speak it to her, but like to type it, it's like my fingers won't move as fast as my brain is.
Well, it's something that I was doing at work one time. Is I had this legal pad, and I just started writing a story on it, and I just kept adding to it. Later, to find out one of my coworkers was writing it, found out it was me writing. It's like, I'm going to continue writing this story.
So you guys know,
this is actually a pretty good story.
Depending on how busy I am tomorrow, we have the Transformers Volume 1 by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spencer. I have the bookmark here, and then after that, I got to do Mindy and Mike Wheeler's boobs. No. They have a comic character. Actually, they have a comic series called Boobs. You're going to be on Boobs 3 coming up very soon. And I told her there needs to be a variant cover of a girl with 3 boobs. Just saying. I told her the gang. Baby. Yeah, thing. Yeah, if you guys want some, this isn't smut. It's not smut. It's not like that.
No, it's just boobs.
Yeah, it's just boobs. Yeah, don't be scared of them. But yeah, we're doing Transformers right now. And
I hate the sound of my own voice though, so it's hard.
Yeah, it's just. I know I have a little bit more. My biggest problem has always been time. I know I have a lot more free time than I always say I let on, but I'm always really tired from work, and I always take time fucking sleeping. I have to get more energy back. Got to be buff and rich, you know?
Okay. And is that how you see yourself, buff and rich?
Yeah.
He's got a popped collar, dude. I mean, that right there is.
Hey, fake it till you make it. I mean,
yeah.
Well, at least you have sleeves today.
If you have hobbies, just do them every hour. And people back for me,
every hour.
No. Oh, sorry. Good Lord, fucking fuck. No.
Your brain's going too fast.
What hobbies are you doing hourly, sir?
No. I'm saying, since we do a lot of things here, or things that I want to do here, like back when we did the movie projects, Darnell was around when we did that. Whenever I do a movie in a series, I couldn't watch the sequel until I talked about that first movie first. Because if I did, I did a time where we watched both back to back. My brain collided both movies together. It came out like straight shit. So whenever we do movie projects, we review that first movie, we make sure it's done, and then we go to the sequel.
Yeah.
Until then, well, we got to start it. But that's the thing, because you can give things the good amount of time that they do. Like comic books, I'm going to review this one. Nothing's going to be on my mind until this is done. And then we do Deadpool Wolverine issue 2 with World War III. So just take time.
What's the next movie you're doing, man? You doing the Axel Foley movie? You can do all those Beverly Hills Cop ones.
Movie project. Oh, no, we're going to do Sonic. Because Sonic's coming out very, very soon. So we're going to do Sonic. Sonic should be first, honestly.
What do you mean? Knuckles just came out, man.
Goodbye.
Why aren't you up to date on Knuckles, man?
Because you mean Knuckles?
Is it good?
I have not watched it either.
It depends. Like if you like the tone of those films, it lives up to it.
I enjoyed Sonic 1 and 2. I did.
Then I think you'd like it. Rich. Oh shit! All right.
Hey, in the world we live. Hey, in the world we live in today, we can identify as anything, right? Well, I identify as a 65-year-old man that I want my Social Security check and I want to just lay around on the couch. Can I get away with that?
It.
Yeah. I identify as 65.
Chloe, me too. I can't wait for Sonic 3. I'm like super pumped for it. Like really pumped for it. Yeah.
Oh my god. What else was it? Yeah, Fatal Crest. We leave. Oh my god, we leave. Jesus Christ. Oh god, my brain isn't working anymore. Don't worry, guys. I'm kidding.
I identify as Keanu Reeves.
I identify as The Rock. I'm buff and good looking, and all women want to jump on my dick and ride me.
I just want 1 day for these guys pay, man. I'd be happy with that.
I read how many calories that guy ate at one point to keep that physique, and I'm like, that's too much food. My body couldn't even handle that much food.
Well, yeah. Well,
calories aren't what kept the physique. Like the drugs are what helped them get there.
Allegedly, said by a guy named Grey Poupée on YouTube.
Dude, everyone on that like echelon is enhanced. Like, come on. If nothing else, he's on T. He's not natural.
Can't wait for Sonic 3. Yeah, it's here. Yeah, it's my most anticipated movie of the year outside of Deadpool Wolverine.
What? Okay.
Well, if I had to identify as an actor, I think I would have to go with Nick Cage.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm a cat. I'm a sexy cat.
We'll be playing Fatal. We'll be playing League. Not tonight, I don't think, because I have a lot of stuff I gotta do. But tomorrow night we should be playing League. No, not tomorrow night. Thursday night. It just depends. I have one League stream set, but it really just depends on when I can. That day I'm going to do it. But any other ones before that, it'll just be if I have free time. Because I'm just a busy guy. Because I realized to myself, all the extra streaming that I'm doing is eating at my time getting those videos done that I need to get edited to be put out for people. So
I gotta said, do your hobbies hourly. Come on, man. You should be leaguing every hour.
That's how you just never have free time. But we had a great show tonight. We had a great show. As before, there wasn't really anything to talk about. Fucking Comic-Con comes through.
He is gonna be Shadow. I've tried to stay away from all information because I want to go into it as blind as possible. I didn't know
you were here when we did that video. You were here when we did that video. Yeah, you were here.
Okay, I remember now. I'm sorry. My medicine is starting to kick in, and my brain is not working.
He's lost his brain.
Some stunt casting before, like would you have seen Jim Carrey as Eggman? Like, I didn't picture it before I actually saw it, and then same with Idris Elba. I wouldn't see him as Knuckles, but man, I dig their performances.
Harris for president. Biden's future in doubt. You know how they do like these AI generated general consensus thing on Twitter now? Speculation is growing within the Democratic Party about the possibility of Kamala Harris leading the ticket in the upcoming presidential election, with discussions revolving around whether President Joe Biden should step down. This consideration is fueled by concerns over Biden's ability to effectively challenge Donald Trump in the election. Various opinions have been shared on social media, with some supporting Harris as a strong candidate and others doubting her ability to win against Trump. Harris herself has publicly supported Biden, no fucking shit, stating that he is the nominee and they will beat Trump again. Yeah, not true. The idea of Harris running at the top of the ticket is seen as a strategic move to keep the funds already raised for the campaign.
Isn't because he's the sitting president, he has to say he's not gonna run?
Yeah, it has to be.
But have you ever seen the entire I don't know, I haven't seen anybody really championing him after Thursday. Like, everyone seems to have had that emperor's no clothes moment.
Yeah, the biggest
him, but they're also fucking batshit insane. So,
well, the problem is that some states have already locked their ballots.
Yeah,
they've already locked their ballots. So he is on the ballot. So if the Democrats now go and, let's say, change up at the convention, do a contested convention, and choose someone else, the ballots are already locked.
They can't choose because he's the sitting president. He has to step down. He has to pull himself out. They can't.
It sounds like everyone's pushing him to do that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was just wondering. I've never seen him do a debate this early, like before the convention. It seems like they were getting ready for this, but maybe that's too.
That's why they did it. Yeah.
I don't know. Conspiratorial. I don't know.
That's why they did it. Oh, hey.
Damn. Does Kamala give you guys any? I don't know. Does she seem like she could win?
No.
We're talking about
her popularity is actually lower than Biden's is.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
In the
on the right side, there's on the right side.
There's internal Democratic polling, and she can get about 50% of the vote, like according to them, but that's not enough to win. It's like possibly she could tie.
Yeah, right there. Now You See Me 3 was announced for 2025.
I only saw the first one.
I like the second one. I like it.
I didn't hate the first one. I just never saw what was the obsession with these movies.
It was funny watching Daniel Radcliffe play a guy who didn't believe in magic. That was kind of like a funny tongue-in-cheek kind of joke.
This is our fucking vice president. She had pronouns in her Twitter account, and she's old enough to have. She's cognitive enough to tweet from her own account. I don't think she has.
Dude, how come that's what you highlighted? She's a wife. She's a mamala, but you didn't highlight mamala.
That doesn't exist. The fuck's a mamala?
Well, I think she heard
mama.
Some celebrity called her mama. Drew Barrymore called her mama.
Drew Barrymore. Yeah. Oh, this is so gay. When she pulls like "believe women," oh, it's so fucking gay.
Well, okay, so if Kamala is listening to this stream, which I highly doubt, I would say, Kamala, invoke the 25th Amendment on Joe Biden, because even though you may only be in office for 6 months, you will forever in history be the first female president and first female of color president on top of that. No one will ever be able to take that away from you. Go ahead, invoke the 25th, even though you will only be in office for 6 months.
The thing is, I'll be honest with you guys, I think she's been running the country the whole time. So her being president wouldn't surprise me. I've always said she's been running it, and then eventually she'll be president. My prediction will have come true.
She's no Dick Cheney.
No, she is. She's not running shit. It is Obama.
Damn.
He's in Biden's ear telling what to say and what to do.
It's crazy because Biden can't even properly say what he's. Oh, it's crazy because Obama's been known for his good speeches that other people obviously write, but Biden is someone that can't even properly say the words anyway. It's just coming out like shit.
I don't know, man. Like the day after the debate, like his speech was pretty. He seems to have a window, and if you're within that window, he's decent. But that speech was a little late for him. The debate was. It seemed like.
Yeah, he was sunsetting pretty bad, and you would think that clearly everyone believing that he was that they were juicing him before special events. It almost feels like they did not juice him, and he was sunsetting at the moment he was walking on stage. He was already starting to sunset.
They did it on purpose, and then had it as early as they did, so they could find time to convince him to step down and find someone to put in his place.
But he's listening to his family. Jill wants the power and wants to stay in the White House. Then he has his son Hunter in his ear that wants the pardon upon sentencing. Even though Joe said, "Oh, I won't pardon my son." Bullshit. You won't do it before the election, but hands down, win or lose, you will pardon your son after the election's been held.
If he remembers to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Even if it's Jill that's got to put her hand on top of Joe's hand to write the name for the pardon.
Hello?
Dude, watching his speech after the debate when Jill was like, "What did Trump do? Lie! You nailed it. You answered all the." I'm like,
you answered the questions.
I'm like, oh my god,
gold star! You did so well, Joe.
Kelly could have saw that she was bullshit. That she was fucking, she was wrong.
I mean, it was all the same.
It just seems sad.
And it seemed like what Biden was out there saying was all the debunked old DNC talking points about Trump.
He said
it was, but I wanted Trump to actually like debunk them. I feel like if there are some people who are still going to believe them, so why not say like that's been debunked this way?
There was something about the fucking, I forgot. It was something that he said Trump said he didn't disavow. Oh my god, this is a bunch of nonsense.
Oh, it was the Charlottesville.
Good people on both sides.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you think you'd have like a little soundbite on how to like explain why that is wrong and completely taken out of context.
Yeah, because even the fact checker sites have already come out and said, yeah, that the Charlottesville law, it's false. He did disavow.
Yeah, and no matter what, I mean, I'm gonna use Mark Hamill as an example again. The proof is all there, and Hamill's still like talking how Biden's the greatest thing since sliced bread. No matter what proof you're gonna have and show, these people are not gonna believe it. They're not gonna.
I mean, sliced bread's pretty old too.
Betty White was older than sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
I think sliced bread's overrated, but that's just me.
Oh, I'm pretty sure everyone saw that tweet or saw that read that we fucking hell that thread that we went over from Reddit where the trans person said if Trump's elected, then I'll off myself, and I'm like, what? These people always talk about gay people offing themselves, but then he's gonna off himself. I'm like, I don't care. Do it. Good job. One less retarded person on the planet. Good job. Go to the fucking grave. I do not. I actually will not care. Here was it. There's a thread called Our Suicide Watch. Oh Lord, Reddit. Oh Lord. There's a whole Reddit.
No, that you want to know what? Honestly, that right there is the same thing as all these celebrities that said, if Trump wins this election, I'm leaving the country, and they didn't leave. They say it every single time as some and where I'm kind of like, okay, I want that as if you put it online, I consider that a public contract. I think you say it. I think you must do it or be sued. You made a social contract by stating that you would leave if Trump wins. If you fail to leave, I think you have the right to be sued for breach of contract.
I'll just be honest here. If Taylor Swift ever left, is that a bad thing anyway?
Get the Antichrist out of this country.
If any of these people leave it, and it wouldn't make a difference.
No.
None of them.
No.
Yeah. Fatal Crest. Remember, everyone kept saying everyone should move to Canada because they have free healthcare. It's like, yeah, that's always a catch. Yes, that might be great in theory, but it's like, man, it's like
they was saying that it's free, but you gotta wait like months for what. Usually, you gotta wait weeks for like a doctor's appointment or something. Or like you feel
as
like
a veteran that's had to deal with as a veteran that's had to deal with the VA, that right there is government ran healthcare.
Yeah,
and it is shit. Yes. And you want to bring essentially the VA on a national scale? You all are fucking stupid.
This guy says, if Trump wins the presidential election, I'm offing myself. Hearing about what's going on in the debate is making me sick. I feel like I'm about to vomit. If Trump wins, Project 2025 and whatever else Republicans have planned will be the death of me. I'm troon, queer, and disabled. Well, one of those doesn't exist. You probably are these two. Just saying. Well, I believe you're definitely this one. If he wins, life for me is going to be a fate worse than death. So what did you do when he wasn't? Whatever. I'm not going to, whatever. So instead, I decided that if he does win, I'm just going to off myself. I don't know how. I'm not saying it. Just go on the freeway and just say, fuck it. I don't know when exactly, but I'm going to off myself if Democrats lose. My rights are hanging in the balance between two white men. One of them is pretty neutral about it, and the other wants to wipe my kind off the face of the effing planet. He wants the genocide of gays. I can't fucking take this shit. The stressful world is making me thinking about ending it all here right now. Only death can save me from living this nightmare.
Trump was the first president ever elected to be in support of gay marriage, the first one that was in support of gay rights. Everyone keeps forgetting that.
No, they don't forget it. They act like it was never. They act like it was never said.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, because I remember when he was running early on, it was announced he was going to run again that first night, or was it that week of? He had said he was going to ban gender affirming care in all 50 states
for minors.
For minors, yeah, because minors shouldn't be.
Those guys work hard. They should let them do what they should let them choose what they want.
I don't see a pickaxe.
You got it.
Yeah, I know.
Obama literally but I will say supporting gay marriage, and then he flipped on it right when he got elected. I remember that.
No, second term. He didn't do it first term. He did it second term.
Good Lord. That guy.
So he wasn't going to be facing a re-election at that point.
That guy was that's when he president. When you look back on it, he was an awful president. People literally only voted for him because he was black. That's it. We're a horrible country when it comes to voting for people. We're terrible.
In that debate with that just happened, I completely agree. One thing that spoke volumes for me anyway was when Trump said, "Look, I don't need to be doing this. I don't have to be doing this. I don't need to be running. I mean, I could go to my granted, this is where it comes out of touch, becomes a little out of touch with everyone else. I can go to any of my multiple locations and live out the rest of my days, which is true. All of these prosecution, however you want to say it, that are happening against Trump right now would not be occurring had he decided not to run for re-election. That's the only reason.
And all the pushing they've been doing, I'm not gonna say I don't believe that he wasn't gonna run, but I think he was considering not running. But all this fact that he was living rent free in all these people's heads, and just as the country's going down this fucking mountain, sliding down this mountain on a fucking sled in the snow, he's like, no, I don't want to see my country turn into this.
Yeah. And just want to say we had an awesome show tonight. Thank you guys for showing up. Darnell is whittling a steak to get a vampire killed or something.
I'm sharpening. My brain, I have to be doing something constantly, so I'm sharpening.
And just so everyone knows, that is a part of ADD.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
you got to.
I'm not diagnosed.
I'm black,
and that's part of the bad thing for me. Is with, unfortunately, that is why it's so hard to quit smoking for me. Is because it's me doing that action. Now, granted, that
do you eat candy a little bit, like little small stuff to keep your mouth moving?
Nope,
can't do it. No.
No, I'm not big on. I'm
big on using my mouth, actually.
At all, I'm not.
That's what we hear. You've got a reputation for it.
I'm big on using my
I don't. I mean, putting things like more phallic shape in my mouth is just not my thing. I mean, it's fine for you. I mean, but not for me. I just can't do that.
All the best foods are dick shaped.
Okay, right. Seth.
Huh?
Well,
the character's name was Seth.
Oh yeah.
So, if you don't see me streaming League tonight, because I have to get up for work early, I'll probably end up streaming League at least for a bonus time tomorrow night after I get done with Wednesday Top G's. I'm gonna just spend the night just getting this book read. That way we could have the review for that out. We'll start with Gray, guy. You got any plans coming up this week?
Yeah, sure. As always, every Thursday, check out The Thinkers on That Darn Kidda's channel. It's a group of a bunch of us from at least 3 different continents who get together and disagree on everything and may come to some sort of peaceful solution. But, I'm sure we'll be thinking about this election and everything like that. But, no other things have happened this week other than... your hero, Terrence Howard, went back on Joe Rogan to explain his theories of everything. So, we took a look at that last week. We'll probably be taking a look at that again this week. But, check it out. Thursdays on That Darn Kidda's channel. That's about all I got going on. What about you, Darnell? What you got going on your side?
Did I tell you can take a troll? Oh shit, I'm back. I got nothing else to do. Yeah, Darnell, what you got?
Like Michael mentioned, my music channel on YouTube. It's AI generated music, but it's basically it's It's AI because I have no recording studio to record anything, so we use that to make the music. That and Nate's D&D channel. We'll be starting our first game this Saturday. I don't know what time. I think 5:30 Central. Oh, yeah, Eastern. So yeah, that's and then appearing here, and sometimes
5:30 Eastern. I forgot you guys were 3 hours ahead. So
I'm 2 hours ahead. I'm Central, not East.
Yes, Nate's 3 hours. So if he's 5, okay, then he'll be here for the show then. Because 3 hours ahead, then it'll be 2:30.
He specifically mentioned doing it in time to make your show.
So I pay that guy some pretty good money, so he better be here. Fucking bastard.
Not all of us are in the West Side time zone.
I know. You guys are bastards. All right, Emerald. Anything you got going on besides taking care of a whole lot of pussy?
No, that's about it. Just whenever a stream is happening and I get that invite, been jumping on, especially this week, having it completely off has been nice to be jumping on a lot more streams this week.
Yeah. I taught you guys the rule of cloud chasing, honestly. Let's get stuff done. And as you guys know, for me coming up, what am I doing specifically? Currently right now today, I got the notes that I'm going to use for my welcome YuGiOh video on the YuGiOh channel, actually. And I'll get the gaming one started. And we're going to be reviewing Transformers Volume 1, Robots in Disguise, tomorrow with me and Professor Savage Dad. And that's it for the moment, because I still have to drop my Remnants comic review from Grok Comics, the second Screecher review, the comic book haul, the Deadpool review, and then we'll have the Transformers one. So that's 5 videos lined up for the comic channel. Then, what else we got here? On the main channel, I just have to get the content clipped out of these episodes. We've already did topics on and uploaded before a certain amount of time, because a lot of them are going to be null and void by then. So I'm going to try and get as much content as I can. So I haven't been streaming like extra like I used to, is because I got to get this stuff done. I've kind of put it off for a little bit. Not put it off. I've been doing other things. It's just it's crunch time. We got to get it done. New episodes of the Cloud9 podcast and Iron Man podcast getting uploaded to the podcasting platform. So if you are at work or you're at the gym, commuting back and forth from work, or you just need a second monitor experience, but I got to be the first monitor experience, you can listen to the show. All the episodes in order. You can go and check out the Nightwing podcast.
Do you have a second monitor now?
I have 2. I've always had 2.
Yeah. How many did you break though?
None. You guys can watch the Nightwing podcast. First podcast I did where I felt like I was really on the right track, and then I was like, reboot one more time. Just run it back just one more time. So you can watch the Nightwing podcast, all those episodes, the 12 seasons of that show, Cloud9 podcast, and this podcast, and everything else after that's when the episodes are done. I just upload them. The Cloud9 podcast is about to go into Rumble, so I can get the stuff off of my computer, and that's pretty much it. This is the usual same stuff. I'm just working on just chipping out the wood and getting the stuff done. And Fatal Chris, if you want to see us play League right now, currently, before we do it on the gaming channel, the link for Twitch is in the description box below. So that's where we are streaming League at currently. I might just play an hour or something tonight. It just really depends. I really got to get this stuff done, honestly. So, yes, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Iron Man podcast. We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Peace. Deuces.